Hello and welcome back to Tauri. It is the Austrian and the Belgian Grand Prix. Today is a scenic pair of races. Lots to look forward to there on that front, but I do just need to address something first and foremost. I mean, you'll be seeing this go live on Wednesdays. That immediately shows you something has happened to alter my schedule. Nothing to be concerned about as such, but I do feel like it is important to talk about and be as transparent as possible on this topic because it does relate to mental health to a degree. Long story short, a couple of weeks ago I had some bad news come through, and a couple of days ago somebody asked me if I'd taken time off to deal with it. And because everything I do, and it's not just content creation, but everything I do is here essentially, I never really view what I do essentially as work. So taking time off work isn't a thing I consider. So I kind of took that on board, took a couple of days off fully off and just chilled out for a couple of days, which does mean I have had less time to record deliberately on my part, which means there's only 3 episodes this week, and it also gave me as well time to consider the way this will continue going forward, because the 2 Grand Prix being recorded is a little unsustainable in the way that it happens, because I'm having to commit twice as much time to recording and more importantly really twice as much time to editing, because the episodes are obviously typically twice as long, and that is the bit that is a little bit more of a chore. Playing the game, that's fine, but I do have to block out twice as much time in a day to get it recorded in the first place as well, which isn't ideal. And it also means I have to try and find a time where I'm at recording capability for twice as long, which isn't easy for someone like me necessarily. So today will be Austria and it will be Belgium as kind of advertised. However, Friday's episode, and it's going to be a 3-episode week, will just be the British Grand Prix in all its glory, qualifying, sprint and race, because well, last time it was a mayhem, so fingers crossed we can get past the first lap this time. But I do have a contingency in place just in case we don't. And from there on for the rest of the season, because the British Grand Prix does also mark the start of the summer break, it would have been one that straddled the summer break in terms of the calendar if I had included the race that followed it. The second half of the season we will just go to the check-in format, where I'll play through a bit offline, so I don't have to obviously dedicate my specific window of time to it. I can just play it whenever I want in the background, which is less of a problem, and then just check in most likely for the sprint races whenever they may fall on the calendar for the rest of the season, just so you're still getting plenty of content out of it and I can still get through at a reasonable pace. Because we also, as mentioned before, have to consider the arrival of Football Manager, which in theory will be next Monday. So if that turns up early enough in the day that I can get an episode out on the Monday, it will likely be daily uploads of Football Manager for that week. If it arrives late, say like 4 p.m, then it'll just be Tuesday to Friday and there'll be nothing on the Monday. And then week 2 onwards, we can include 1 F1 race per week to sort of get through the rest of the season, whilst Football Manager is still the focus. And it'll probably slowly shift towards being more 50-50. And then once we're done with the beta save, which will only probably take a few weeks, because I intend to do basically 1 season per week. Once we get through the beta save, then the Football Manager content will be a little bit different as it has been in the past. So we'll be able to focus again more on the F1 stuff at that point. Anyway, enough chitter chatter. I say chitter chatter as if that wasn't important talk, but you know what I mean. But anyway, focusing on the Grand Prix, I haven't done race prep. The important thing is, even though we did get mugged off last time, we did still get into the objectives. Alex's contract is ending, of course, as is Pierre Hamelin and Mattia Spini's. Hamelin we're likely to renew the contract of, but just like last year, I'll wait till the last possible moment. I'll do it before the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix this year, now realising that for staff members anyway, it's probably better to get them in before the end of the season. But we'll do it before the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Whereas Alex, I don't know what to do with, because I get the sense he'll probably ask for exorbitant fees. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But similarly, we'll deal with that at the end of the season. It will be his race where he takes penalties, but both of these are just regular races. I don't think either of them are even 88 weekend, so nice straightforward pair of races for you. Yuki Tsunoda finds himself in a spot of bother at the end of Q2, just, well, 9/100ths off 10th, but we've sent them out at the end. Alex taking full penalties, of course, is providing the tow to Yuki Tsunoda. However, they simultaneously appear to have picked up a tow off one of the McLarens, and are getting closer to them as well, quite noticeably, which is going to hinder Alex. Not that it matters too much on his front, but I'm worried it's going to hinder Yuki more, because it's going to drag Alex away from him. And you can see the gap between the two. Actually, in the awkward position where it would have been better to send about the other way around, because Yuki would have got this tow off the McLaren, but you never really know where your driver's going to end up when you push them on the out lap. Sainz remains 10th as the checkered flag falls, so Alex goes to 6th, Yuki goes to 10th. Piastri on track apparently, and appears to be inside a Ferrari. That worries me. Both on flying laps, it appears, not that it matters for the Ferrari. I mean, despite that, Piastri doesn't go faster. By the skin of his teeth, Yuki Tsunoda's through. Right, so here goes final flying lap. Trying to see how high up we can get Yuki Tsunoda. Ocon had a wobbly, maybe on an out lap, because he's continued on. Thankfully, this time Alex doesn't have a tow from another vehicle. It was useful to get him into Q3, but here, this is all about Yuki Tsunoda getting as close to Alex as possible over one lap. Obviously sending Alex down used tyres to help that differential as much as possible to keep Yuki in range as best as possible, as the one person who was behind has gone ahead. I don't know who that was, probably the McLaren. Well, there is one other person with penalties this weekend, and it was Carlos Sainz, who is already out. Crucial actually we put him out actually as well, as practice was surprisingly dangerous for drivers. Carlos Sainz and then Daniel Ricciardo both just completely wiping out as Yuki Tsunoda goes slower on fresh tyres. Of course, never changed. F1 manager, never change. So it only really mattered out qualifying him, because we don't know what penalties he's got. In fairness, that does seem to be the maximum that Yuki Tsunoda was actually capable of, so we can't complain too much. Straightforward strategies based on remaining tyres. There's a surprising amount of fuel per lap considering the lap length. I guess more of it's done at full speed. I was thinking about the chance of incident here. It's not low, but one lap out, push. So obviously Alex moves to the very, very back. Sainz's penalty only took him to 18th, actually. It doesn't really matter. Alex is out straight away. Actually, I wonder if he is out. I hope he isn't, because I put sponsorship bonuses in. Oh, actually, his car righted itself. He's got going again. But what did he break? Brand new car pass, of course. Front wing. Okay. Now, we learned before that it doesn't really matter. He's lost half an end plate. We'll see how that affects. Ricciardo got the penalty. He got going as well. Well, that's unfortunate. But ironically, Alex does get the place. As Yuki got Ocon through all that, but we never got a highlight for it. Daniel Ricciardo's car seems fine, but he's 2 seconds off. But then again, I think that's just the race pace. Because he's 2 seconds off, he doesn't have the slipstream of anyone. Obviously, there's no DRS anyway. I am wondering if that actually is hurting Alex, because he's a second off this train and not getting closer. Although he did just stop entirely there for no apparent reason, whereas Ricciardo didn't. What the hell, Alex? Well, he's going to have DRS, so I don't know if it's more worthwhile staying in the train and having the DRS, or going straight in and then taking the front. Sorry, Tsunoda's got we're paying too much attention to Alex here, frankly. I mean, lovely camera angles. I can see literally nothing of his overtake until it's actually done. So Tsunoda's attacking people on medium. Is he the only one on mediums? They didn't even check the tyre situation. Literally, Yuki, Alex, and Daniel Ricciardo are the only 3 people on soft tyres. And Albon and Ricciardo are damaged theirs because there's another overtake, but because they've had the incident. This does mean there's going to be a phase of the Grand Prix where other people are faster. Now, they could be there doing the medium, hard, medium, which will work in their favour. Our driver's favour, I mean. Well, I think this answers the question of whether we need to do the... It's also the argument is, are they holding them up? Or do we hold out in case there is an incident? As Alex takes the other Haas. The race incentives are Yuki Tsunoda 8th, Alex minimum of 15th is what I put in. Well, I was expecting him to get, top 10 really, ultimately by the end of the race, but this incident put that in a bit of a spanner. I'm glad I was slightly more hesitant as that Haas is coming back, and I just have flashbacks. I think Alex has got the drive to... I mean, he's got the DRS on him, annoyingly, but Alex will have this ultimately because he'll have the DRS on the next straight. Or not. I just heard a huge thump. Yellow flag. Sights. Giovinazzi, I assume? No? Oh, well, whatever's happened here, he's lost an end plate. Not a yellow flag. It says 2 cars out. They're clearly not. So it is Giovinazzi. I think he just slams right into him. Yeah. Fantastic AI driving from the car behind there. Flipping heck. I just didn't assume because he was out in Q1, bizarrely. So that was just a yellow flag, unfortunately, for Alex. Sainz with the penalty, though. Yuki's ahead of Perez and Norris. And I do not recall getting either of those messages. I remember Ocon, I remember Stroll, but I do not remember either of those 2 drivers being overtaken. Like I say, a sea of medium tyres, and medium Ferrari is probably still faster, ultimately. Not a place for Yuki, not a bad place for Yuki to be sort of trapped in, as someone's just had a moment there. Stroll, by the looks of things. Well, we get the notice for overtaking Stroll, so I think he's gone off track rather than... Yep, there he is. Stroll opened a gap is certainly inviting, apparently. Yeah, like I say, I don't really know which is more harmful here. Still, whether it's worth pitting Alex and taking off that front wing, I think it's worth taking off the front wing for the rest of the race at the next pit stop, whenever that may be. Because I think having the benefit of being dragged along by a DRS is probably more of a gain than having a new front wing would take. Because you also have to come off these soft tyres as well, don't even forget. As I should have watched that overtake on Perez, but never mind. We kind of saw it happen live. I think, really, there's not much excuse for coming off these tyres early. There's also a golden opportunity to get Alex behind someone who is only marginally faster and then have him harvest DRS. I mean, we saw that one literally live, but never mind. So Alex is through Giovinazzi's. Whether or not he can make that stick, I don't know. Meanwhile, okay, so George Russell has got in show Grand New there, but then Yuki on his tail has DRS on George there. I think he's taken George subsequently. He has. Not getting that highlight, though. I stayed off just in case we got it, but no, we don't, for whatever reason. So Yuki's third and fighting George. Okay, so Alex is fighting Giovinazzi, so I think realistically the benefit of DRS is now done for Alex, although he has dropped Giovinazzi out of a second just before the DRS detection point, so maybe if he doesn't have to fight, that might help. No, he's back in again. Stroll must have damaged his underfloor. Alex has fallen off quite dramatically, but now we're in the point of benefit versus loss. There is the option to go onto a hard, really, and then onto a soft at the end rather than a medium, but we're only 5 laps away from pitting anyway, so I'm not sure the relative gains are at all worth it. May well be worth bringing Alex in 1 lap earlier than scheduled. I'm actually taking it the other way around, because at the very least Yuki does have the benefit of DRS at the moment, so extending his stint as long as possible is probably the most useful thing. Alex is coming in on the lap intended, as he has... Oh, flip. I don't know if I told him to change the front wing. I forgot that isn't just standard. Oh, well. Whoops. I've made an error there. Someone's binned it. Although they've got going again, whoever it was. Russell ran wide. So this is just running wide. It's not... Slightly dangerous rejoining. It's quite funny. I said it last time. It's quite funny. The actual times where the drivers do rejoin somewhat naturally, they still do it dangerously. And interesting, people are pitting off mediums at the same time Yuki's pitting off softs. And the Ferraris have double stacked. Perhaps by accident, but they've literally just got away with that. That was beautiful almost. Oh, good pit stop, good pit stop. Back out ahead of George. Okay, so now with Alex, I am now hoping for a safety car. Kind of halfway through that allows us to put on a hard tyre and change his front wing. But I think ultimately Alex will be capable of 15th. Hadjar's not pitted, neither is Giovinazzi. And Alex is already on the DRS of Bottas anyway, so... Like I said, I'm trying to work out how Hadjar got us through the pits, but it's because he hasn't pitted. Some people have gone on to softs. Bottas is on hard, so Alex, what are you doing, mate? We've got a good moment here. Sainz overtook Alex and is now providing a tow. Yuki is kind of weirdly comfortable 4th/5th because he does have George Russell for company. Russell's on hards, which is, you know, helping. So they are doing medium, hard, medium. Some people have done medium, soft, so I don't know what their last stint will be. But they've got a good clean gap to Ocon in 6th here. The McLarens bafflingly now are in 10th and 12th. You're being overtaken by Ferrari, mate. Calm down. Because the McLarens went very long and then pitted onto hards. So they got massively undercut by literally everybody. Bottas had a lockup. To the degree where people like Magnussen have actually undercut Zhou Guanyu. Now they've gone on to soft, so obviously there's a speed differential there now anyway. But Piastri on 47% is baffling. He must have pitted really early, but he's being towed on by Ocon now, so it's worked out long term, but he's going to have to pit soon, presumably onto a hard to finish the race with. I mean, we'll watch this because this is a medium running Alexander Albon getting Sainz back. So either Sainz and softs have gone off now, but it's kind of impressive he's able to hold on to him. Now, I don't know if Sainz has damaged car parts that he didn't replace because he crashed in practice. So he's taken emergency car parts as a result. So I don't know if he's still walking wounded a little bit. No, he replaced everything. Wait, he replaced everything and only had an 8-place penalty. Oh, no, I know what it will be. He will replace the ERS to a brand new penalty one, whereas these two won't have been replaced to penalty levels. So he's just taken an 8-place penalty, I think maybe for the ERS and ERS only. Because I think the first penalty is an 8-place penalty for both engine and ERS, and 5 places for the gearbox, and then each subsequent one is less of a penalty after that. But the most important thing, really, I mean, the nicest it would be to get points with Alex is getting the sponsorship bonus now. I'm actually topping up with Yuki, and he's not losing the place to Russell. They're on very similar levels tyre-wise, currently. Probably need to pick up the pace. Alex has been retaken by Sainz, but his tyres are going off. That is what's happening. Yuki's kind of comfortably behind Perez as well. He's not catching him. There goes Piastri. So De Vries and Sainz pit early, which is annoying. So pit window is entered. So 3 laps to go, and he's on 52% tyres. Alex is on 51% tyres. I think we could just push these. Now, is it worth taking the front wing? Because it's going to need to be replaced anyway. It'll get replaced after the race, so it doesn't really matter either way. It's not like we lose a front wing. We'll lose it after the race regardless. It's effectively what's the gap? Because he's not going forwards. Sainz, Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, Iwato have all pitted a second time. Piastri's pitted a second time onto hards. Alex is going on to softs. Stroll and Hadjar need to pit again. There goes Stroll. I'm trying to work out what an extra 6 seconds does, because obviously some of them have been lapped now, which is problematic because I can't work out the full time gaps. 15th. Interesting, it says 15th either way. I don't know if that's just estimated pit window doesn't like factor that in. 22 seconds without, 31 with. De Vries is exactly 22 seconds, I think. Sainz has just been lapped. I don't think he's 8 seconds behind, but there are people behind us who haven't pitted. Well, Stroll was that one, actually. Just Bottas and Hadjar haven't pitted. I'm just trying to work out if 15th is still achievable, basically, because I don't think Alex is getting top 10 now. But I wonder if he can go all out on softs, whether or not he'll actually have the pace to get through the field as well. So Yuki actually pitched directly in front of Alex, so he's out in 8th. Alex is coming in now, and I've gone for the front wing. And this last stint of Yuki's is designed just to be done on 4, so I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it on 4, not turn to avoid curbs. Just go on 4 for the rest of this race, and you should be fine. Needs to recover fuel, actually. The fuel recovery rate hasn't been as impressive as I thought it would be. I mean, for a front wing pit stop, that felt pretty solid, 8 seconds total. Still comes out in 15th, I think. So, and gets lapped for even better measure. Because now he's going to get dragged along by a Red Bull or overtake them. That bizarrely works out really nicely for him. Are they taking hards to the end of the race? Because Yuki's lapping 1 second to 1.5 seconds faster than all of them. Zhou Yu and Norris might be one-stopping. So I said they got massively undercut, but I think that was on purpose because I think they're one-stopping. Perez and Russell and Ocon are more confusing. Alex's fastest lap in 15th. That's useful, Alex. He actually unlapped himself. Max got annoyed at that, clearly. So Perez is pitted onto softs, I assume? Yeah. So I'd expect Russell and Ocon to pit onto softs anytime soon, any moment now as well. Okay, yeah, we're really going to have to consider conserving fuel as well. We're too far from the end of the... We're too close to the end of the race not to consider it now. Okay. I thought it might take Alex longer to get De Vries considering I was conserving fuel, but nope, straight away. That's nice, because that's a buffer on him on 15th. Actually, someone ahead pitted. Bottas. So Alex is actually 30th. Why have I been showing the De Vries twice? Oh, did he fight back? Sonoda's caught Zhou. That's Perez behind, who has pitted. Now, the fascinating thing is ahead, that's George Russell, who was on similar level tyres to Perez, but hasn't pitted. Ocon has decided to with 8 laps to go. Good job we are conserving fuel, because we're going to... Oh, actually, is Alex lapped? No, but he might be by the end of the race if we... Interesting. Norris is on for 3rd, because he's got competent hards. Alex and Max Verstappen, who is the car directly behind him on track, you know, most of a lap ahead, but he's the car directly behind him on track, are doing basically the same lap time, despite the fact Alex is conserving. So I don't know if Max is going to catch. He might do if he gets held up on sights, if Alex gets held up on sights. Well, here's the kind of baffling decision being writ out large, because Russell's still on hards, being overtaken by both Yuki Tsunoda and his teammate, and shortly the much later pitting hard runner of Zhou Yu. So Alex is in 106.2, Max has done a 105.8, so he's a little bit faster that lap, and he's only about 3 seconds ahead. Alex, if you could... I think if Alex catches the DRS of sights before Max catches him, he'll be all right. We're nearly done with the fuel as well. Interesting, even Norris is falling away now as well, so Perez is up to 3rd because he went on to new softs. The gap from Perez to Leclerc is ridiculous, so that's not happening. Yeah, Red Bull's dominating in their own race here, but Norris without DRS, Yuki on better mediums is just gone by. Still recovering fuel at this point in time, just making that observation as Alex gets Sainz as well for good measure. End of that DRS. There's Max lurking in the background again. Jaws like once again. Why is he always just like looming in the back of shots? It's genuinely quite funny. Tsunoda not having a bit more of a ding-dong than I would really appreciate. I'll be able to absolutely destroy Yuki's tyres in the last few laps because he is smoothing his way above the trend. Now, unfortunately, this ding-dong is actually causing... I'm going to get Alex to stop conserving because I think he might just get lapped within the next lap, really. Yeah, there's Max. It's happening. It's happening because we're fighting and going slower as a result of fighting. He's put a gap on Norris, says Yuki. There he goes. There goes Max. Yuki was still conserving for some reason. It is only Max, so of course, if Max has a wobbly, we're still in a spot of bother there, but bloody hell. I've gone too far with Yuki. I've just switched back to Alex as the race is finished. Him being lapped by Max Verstappen was the best thing possible because it pulled him away from Carlos Sainz. He finished 12th. Yuki might actually run out of fuel, so I'm doing everything possible to pull him away from Norris whilst using that fuel and trying to get to the line as quickly as possible, really. He might basically just run out of fuel on the line. We've got away with it there. Well done, Yuki. Literal fumes as he crossed the line. He's just saying hi to the fans. You know what? I don't think we're going to be able to provide a sample. No, to be fair, I think drivers do that. They park up on the side so they can provide a sample. You just have to cross the line at time. Not a podium, but a good finish. Only 2 seconds off a podium. Better fuel management, he might have made it. Crucially, we get our sponsorship bonus as well there. Domination from the Red Bulls. Kevin Magnussen with a solid recovery as well. Yuki's back up to 4th. It's a very tight fight between Yuki and Lando, surprisingly. Sergio Perez with 15 points finally gets him into kind of a more Ferrari position of 6th after languishing in 10th for ages. We actually take Mercedes in the championship, for now, at least. 3rd and 4th there, that's not great. Not our best outing on the pit stop front, but basically hold firm. Okay, that confused me. It's sort of implied that Yuki destroyed the front wing, but Yuki's actual front wing failed, so we've actually lost 2. We've got the manufacturing space and the time to get more back in time for Belgium, so no concerns there. Most crucially as well, from the accident, he didn't hurt his car parts. So we can relax on that front. Alex is up to 86. Can't really spot what's gone up. I guess we'll get an email soon, but control looks pretty solid. 87 there as well. That might have gone up, actually. Oh yes, the 30th of June. We'll get an email tomorrow. It was braking and defending that went up. Yuki's control went up, finally. As did his defending. His weakness, his overtaking is going to be monstrous. Yuki actually getting the things I want him to get is lovely, finally. Meanwhile, Zane Maloney developing in the background, braking adaptability and accuracy all going up. Is there a better one with braking in? It's a little annoying that braking only exists in 2 of these sectors. Pace short runs and wheel to wheel are the only 2 that actually have braking in them. You'd have thought wet track might have, but no. So the slight intention is to get Zane Maloney up in maybe Alex's car next year, but there's a vote before Belgium as well. Oof, I get terrible anxiety whenever there's the mid-season sporting change, because it's the one that can bring in, I think, overall points changes, but it's the double points last race one. Personally, I'm voting against it, but if it happens, I'm not bothered. Well, I was gearing up to bring you the sad news that Yuki Tsunoda was unfortunately claimed because he got stuck on the back of a Wasso on his flying lap in a wet qualifying 1 at Belgium. But there's a red flag, and because I was zooming through the session, I don't know what caused it. There's still 10 minutes left of the session, and it was drying up towards the end, but never getting dry. Oh, it's Leclerc that's caused it, who was fastest of all in the session. There's every chance we actually start dry again, or get dry by the end. No, never mind. Yuki's out, but so is Norris and Magnussen. If it actually dries up, I'm going to be annoyed. It's like the weather's broken, because it's literally not getting drier or wetter. It's unfortunate Leclerc crashed after doing a lap. Unsurprisingly, it's dried up, and it's going to get wet again. Sort this out, Frontier. Get Alex out of the front, having no fuss whatsoever. Getting stuck on anyone. At least it accurately simulates that Leclerc is out for the rest of time. I was kind of hoping Alex may have got a second lap in there in the drive, but no. He's through anyway. No real shocks there. Did Frontier hear me? Because this session actually starts intermediate. It's not dried up for once. It'll be dry at the end. Get the confidence laps in though. Oh, beautiful. He's done that to perfection. That might be more the weather getting drier, but in terms of confidence, that's going to be perfect. And he's literally just going to be able to get back in and get soft tyres on. Am I going crazy? People just... Russell is on soft tyres, but he's just started a flying lap before it's actually dry. Dry. The silly sausage. So there's a lovely stretch of clean track if I get Alex out before the other Ferrari. Meanwhile, Perez got caught out doing the opposite, by the way, doing a lap on a dry track with intermediate tyres. This is what I mean, though. Zhou Guanyu just crossed the line. He crossed the line after Russell, of course, so therefore his overall lap would have been drier than Russell's. I think he probably would have still started his lap in a marginally wet condition, but same as Russell, but he's just had a higher percentage of it in the dry. And I'll take control of Alex now because he's halfway around this lap. A long lap like Belgium, you can't set him off straight away. Now we can, though. So, Russell's been out-qualified by Zhou Guanyu in a McLaren, which is slower than the Ferrari, and Piastri in the Alpine, which is also slower than the Ferrari. By more, really. You kind of expect Zhou Guanyu to capitalise a little bit because I think they're effectively the next one. The Alpine's probably 5th or 6th fastest. There goes Verstappen, there goes Ocon on fully dry laps. Stroll is the person directly ahead of Alex on track. Of course, we've got the danger of there being an incident or messing up, but we still got a banker lap in that's faster than Perez's, so we're not going to be any worse than 9th. Sainz is approaching the bus stop with a bit of traffic. Should in theory get out of the way and not be a problem, but he has caught Piastri basically at the bus stop. I think that has worked out just fine for Sainz, so he should have a representative lap on the board, probably 2nd. He's a better driver than Ocon, in the same car as Ocon. That was to be expected. We meanwhile are going to catch De Vries, is this? Lovely moving out of the way, Nick. No grudges being held there, finally. Alex powering towards the line. Obviously, I don't know why I bother checking the sectors. Of course he's faster. That is 7th. He goes faster than, Russell. I am marginally concerned he's not faster than Piastri, though. You know what, though? I think they may have been in a little trio. There were 2 drivers directly behind Russell on the road. One was Zhou Guanyu. I don't know who was the one between them. I don't know if Piastri was one of them. Well, Piastri did seem to be behind someone, actually, when he came into the pits as Sainz was catching him. So maybe he got a bit of a slipstream or someone. That's the only thing I can think of, because there's no way that Piastri should be faster than Alex. Either way, it's a decent position, 7th. It's a strong enough position I do not think Alex will gain places. He actually did. That's his slowest lap of the session. I don't think Alex will gain places because George and Sergio behind. Yuki can, but I don't think Alex will. Now, the race day is dry. Now, we are told that a 1-stop is faster than a 2-stop, but a 2-stop can do this. And they've got the tyres to do it. Why is Yuki worse off? Oh, because I did it on 5, that's why, but you can actually do 5. Aggressive, all out, let's have fun. Hey! Yuki's 100th. I swear oh no, it was Alex's 100th start that we had before.
and it's lights out, and away we go.
So Verstappen from Sainz for Stroll. I didn't even notice Stroll's time in the end. He went third. Sainz is fighting Verstappen off the line. Ocon's fighting Stroll off the line. Snow's got Leclerc off the line. I'm pretty certain there. Let's just have a brief moment to celebrate Ricciardo being 12th. I'll come back in because it seems to be getting through that first corner without any fuss whatsoever. So Snowden up a place, Albon status quo, and Sainz has the lead. Hamilton retires, and Mercedes is at the front of a race. Marginally unfortunate. I think George won races. I can't remember if Lewis won races. I don't think, actually, I'm not even sure if they won races. I know they got onto the podium a couple of times. But credit to Ricciardo right now. Took 12th and has stayed 12th. He qualified 13th. Hadjar, meanwhile, unsurprisingly, might end up being a bit of a cork in the bottle here. Look at the array of people trying to get past Daniel Ricciardo behind him, though. Oh, bless him. Yuki's one of them. Putting pressure on... Oh, everyone slowed down so dramatically. I thought there'd been an incident. It's just the bus stop. I think Gasly ahead's on a soft as well. He is. So 2 full laps all out, while everyone else is all out. There has been a lock-up. It is Lance Stroll. We'll watch it because I can't seem to click on to him. Being hounded by Esteban Ocon, I should that to be. And he's gone straight on there and not driven into the wall. That's progress from F1 manager. He's utterly ruined his tyres, though, in comparison. I think that's as cool as our tyres gets when we're going all out. So we'll go all out again and just leave it to it because the whole point is to go and destroy him. So, and Alex really needs to stay in touch as well. Oh, God, I just realised Stroll's gifted us the place. Russell and Perez are still behind, though. And we'll expect Leclerc to be in the top 10 by the end of this race. One would imagine. As well as Ricciardo in the points is doing, he's not going to stay there, is he? But unfortunately, it is being a little bit trapping of Yuki Tsunoda because I'm not really looking at him. But, well, I say that, actually. He's nabbing Giovinazzi now and powering away with DRS, which Giovinazzi doesn't have for some reason, which gives Leclerc the opportunity to get through as well. So Yuki Tsunoda, in fact, Yuki Tsunoda is going to be first on scene to Ricciardo anyway. That's a faster vehicle coming through because he's nabbing Gasly, old mate. Pierre Gasly, and it is new Alpine. I say new Alpine, he's been there 2 years now, over then. But seeing his old AlphaTauri teammate just go past still in the AlphaTauri must be a little galling for Pierre Gasly. We like Pierre here. F1 world champion for Aston Martin in another universe. And that's Tsunoda through Hadjar, who's given actually Ricciardo a little bit of a respite. He's fallen off. Hadjar's fallen off dramatically there. Yuki can't have been hounding him that hard, surely. But Yuki's literally just gone up 3 places in the space of 1 lap, which is ridiculous. Albon, though. Albon can't keep up with... Well, it's Shogun Yu, really, that's pulling Piastri along. Piastri's on a soft and clearly pushing the soft because bear in mind that we're just destroying these. We are sort of running in line with their tyres. Despite that, I wanted an identical lap to Piastri, which is quite funny. Oh no, I wasn't paying attention to Tsunoda. I thought it'd take him longer to get to Daniel. I mean, we're denying him a point, but Daniel won't mind seeing Yuki Tsunoda go through. I think everyone loves Tsunoda, really. But Hadjar's really helping Daniel here. Just by existing, really, behind him. More than a second behind. Gasly, as we can say, he was struggling to get through him. But off Yuki goes. Just give him DRS, Yuki. Just give him DRS. That's a good boy. Wow, Yuki could do that final corner so much better than Ricciardo. DRS got him back within DRS for the next bit, provided the detection point came soon enough. But it did just. That's it, Yuki. Help Daniel. Help him. If there's another incident in the top 10, then Daniel's all right. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. It's lap 7, and you'd be surprised to see Leclerc still in 14th, having qualified 15th after crashing, of course. The fact that they, as a unit, have only gained 1 place, and that's because Stroll has gone to the back, is a little baffling. In fact, they've all overtaken Giovinazzi just because Yuki's gone through as well. But Leclerc finally gets someone and gains a net lead that wasn't a gift. Oh, hello. We're looking at Leclerc there, but Albon is in DRS range at last. It's taken him a long time, but he's there. Not really getting fuel back either. When you consider the number of laps spent off fuel push, not really getting it back. But Piastri's having to go at Zhou Guanyu now. Tsunoda slowly but surely bearing down on Nick de Vries. I say slowly but surely, that lap was 7/10 faster. Wait, Alex got Piastri. Piastri was trying to take Zhou Guanyu. What happened there? I wasn't expecting Alex to make a move. That's why I switched off him. Both had DRS. Both like a reasonable distance off Zhou Guanyu there. What has happened there? He must have just taken the first corner really poorly, Piastri. Unlike him. That's a good move. Alex up to 5th. I wasn't expecting Alex to make progress. The Ferrari's still holding firm in 7 and 8 here. 2-stop could be a problem. It depends how easy you clear the traffic that you're fighting your way through. Of course, Yuki Tsunoda is going to be like the peakest peak possible almost. He has 100 out of 100 accuracy right now. Yuki Tsunoda is essentially playing Scalextrics as he actually gets Nick de Vries while we're covering that up. He didn't even do it on the main straight. He did it there on the pit straight. Not gonna lie, I have genuinely forgotten what the straight is called at Spa. I know it's Eau Rouge, but I've forgotten what that straight's called. It's one of those The moments where you're like, you wanted to you tried to say it and you're just expecting the phrase to be there and then it just didn't come. I keep getting other corners and straights. Maranello came into my head. I know it's not Maranello because that's Italian. Then Hanger Straight came into my head, even though I know that's Silverstone. But I think it begins with a C. But pit window ended. Doesn't matter what it's called. Ricardo's still 11th though. Hadjar's fallen all the way to 16th. I spoke too soon. Ricardo 12th with Leclerc literally overtaking him as well almost. I mean, you'll get lovely DRS off Gasly again here. He's attacking Gasly before they've even got to the activation point. Go on, Daniel. Get him back. Last of the last breakers. Late breakers, you know what I mean? Never mind. Piastri's fallen behind Russell. I should have really backed our boys here. They're doing all right. I mean, obviously we're now melting the tyres compared to everyone else because we've just been on them the entire time. Still within DRS of Zhou Guanyu here. Never mind. Why do I speak? Our drivers are actually not separated by all that much. It's only 4 seconds between them. They are actually quite good with their tyres. Both of them. They both have decent smoothness, so even though we've been pushing them 5 push, they are doing a little bit better. So, whilst it's the optimal pit lap for both, we can separate the pit stops, I think. No. Alex this lap, he's ahead. And it's optimal for Yuki, but I've not got the notification there. Oh, there we are. We'll do him the lap after. Yuki's just going to have to suffer on the tyres a little bit longer. That being said, I mean, Russell's overtaken Alex there. I was going to say Alex has got DRS there. Actually, should notice in Piastri's DRS. Piastri's really fallen off. So Yuki's actually in a really good opportunity here. He either gets dragged along by Alpine that is faster than him because he's on better softs right now. Where's Alex coming out though, crucially? Is he coming out ahead of Leclerc? No. But it could be Leclerc and Magnussen the ones that are dragging him along now. No, he actually does get ahead of them. What? How long did it take them to go around the first corner? That's quite funny how long that... I mean, they're in DRS range, but I don't know if they technically get it. They did. I mean, that's really good work. We come out in 11th. Meanwhile, Yuki's now got past Piastri and I ignored the overtake message clearly. But Yuki's in this lap. Now he'll probably come out behind Leclerc and Magnussen. Wait, there was only like 4 or 5 seconds between Albon and Tsunoda. So he'll come out probably behind Ricciardo there. Yuki. Poor Ricciardo's 15th now. Bless him. With Norris. That is surprising. Yuki Tsunoda, who was caught out, not actually by the rain, just by Iwasa being the car in front, slowing him down in qualifying. But essentially caught out by the rain because he couldn't then do a clean lap. Qualified 16th, ahead of Norris and Magnussen. And he's come out having done 16 laps on softs, 15 laps on softs, directly behind Magnussen and Norris. He's essentially done an entire pit stop on them. Nearly. He is about, basically, a second and a half away from have done a full pit stop on them. Alright, so this is the problem. Alex being held up by Gasly now, but he does have some ERS, sorry. So we can deploy in battle formation here. He stays behind on this straight. He didn't actually deploy there, but he'll attack into Eau Rouge. We'll watch this beautifully in 1 times. Tsunoda's overtaken Norris behind, but he hasn't made that work yet. Oh, that's lovely work. He's caught him napping there. I say caught him napping. That's actually Magnussen. Thanks, Magnussen. Thanks, Kevin. I couldn't say Magnussen's name there for some reason. Like I've been jinxed. But Alex powers past Gasly there in the end. Didn't really actually use much ERS. I don't know if it actually did do the battle effectively there. But he's through. That's the most important thing. Now, Yuki also got Magnussen. I assume on the same straight. I was really hoping Crofty was going to say the name of the corner there. Straight. So now he does have an entire pit stop on Kevin and Lando. And he's only 1 second away from Leclerc, who also hasn't pitted yet. All of these places now, up to Verstappen and Albon, are for track position. Everyone has to stop once at least. We're probably the only ones doing 2 intentionally, apart from Verstappen and Stroll. Stroll may not have been intentionally. Verstappen must be, because he's stopped really early. And he's gone onto a medium. But he's on Leclerc now. Gasly pits. So Leclerc has no protection next time they go into the DRS zone. Meanwhile, Alex, what lap did you do compared to De Vries there? A 144.3 versus a 146. Has he done it before the detection point? Yuki, we need to talk about race strategy here, maybe. Yeah, he did into turn 1. Now, the smart thing here would be just to slow up enough to get Leclerc on side before the detection point, but you haven't done that, have you? Charles has been canny, although he might just be dead slow in comparison. I mean, it is a good point, because I don't think he took a penalty there, Charles Leclerc, so he is up the inside of Yuki, unfortunately. But simultaneously, he clearly hasn't taken new, or at least penaltied, engine parts. So either his car is probably damaged, but not to the degree that they've taken penalty parts, or he's just had fresh parts and not needed to take the penalty. But it is Belgium, so round 12 here. I'll be surprised if they had 2 fresh ones still of everything. That's Perez in. There goes Piastri. As Alex has found and overtaken De Vries. That took him longer than I thought it would. Yuki Tsunoda's directly behind on track, by the way. That is Yuki there. They're on the same strategy here. I think De Vries has held Alex up there a bit because they're on the same stretch of road pretty much, our boys. All right, 11 seconds to Verstappen, who has pitted. And then the 4 in front haven't. And he's well within a pit stop of those. And De Vries is no longer being dragged around by Alex either. So it is Yuki's turn. And bear in mind, we're on full 5 push here. Look at the tyre temperatures. They're not in the red. They're not in the red. That's what better brake cooling does for you. But halfway into this race, we have recovered... Bear in mind that we pushed it to, I think, minus 2.6, minus 2.7. We've recovered a third of the tank back, essentially. We are going to have to harvest. In fact, this could be the really good spot to do it for Alex because... 10 seconds behind Verstappen, there's no real fight forwards there. And as soon as Yuki's through De Vries and clear of De Vries, as there is immediately a yellow flag, which doesn't appear to have hurt anyone. Stroll locked up again. Oh, all right. And now De Vries is out of a second of Yuki Tsunoda as well. Yuki is driving faster than Alex. Oh, okay. Hang on. Didn't Perez pit behind? Some of the front runners are pitting now, as you can see. Are they one-stopping onto a soft behind? Because that Mercedes has gone into a soft behind. But I'm pretty certain Perez pitted earlier. Yeah, he pitted 4 laps ago onto a medium. Whereas Esteban Ocon did 23 laps on a medium and has now pitted onto a soft and come out behind Yuki Tsunoda, as has Zhou Guan Yu. Which means they're having to do like half a race on a soft, which I guess is viable. But, I mean, we have to stop conserving now because we're giving Perez DRS. Although he didn't have it, actually, for some reason there. And now Yuki is in dirty air. His tyres are getting hot. Well, here's the real Ferrari pace. I am a little confused by Perez, though, because he pitted 4 laps ago. Admittedly, this is versus Tsunoda, but I'm more confused him versus Alex. Because he's obviously in the DRS of Alex. I mean, they started, what, 7th and 10th, I think, respectively. Alex has pushed softs and then pitted. But lap 26, on track together, both having pitted once, but Alex much earlier. The 2-stop versus the Ferrari isn't going to work of Perez, but Russell doing the reverse, evidently. Perez started on a soft, I guess. Russell doing the reverse, medium to soft, is only 6 seconds ahead of Alex, having yet to pit as well. Both drivers are going to be pitting onto a soft before the end of this race. But Alex is going to be able to maintain a faster pace relative to the car than Russell, because he'll be on neutral push on the medium and then neutral push on the soft, whereas Alex is going all 5 on both. Tsunoda can't keep up with Perez and has Ocon for company, who admittedly is on a soft, so if Ocon could take Yuki here, that would be actually kind of helpful. Drag him along, Esteban. Drag him along. Oh, yes, you're overtaking outside of DRS, it looks like. Or trying to, anyway. I've expected Esteban to just spear off into the wall there. How is Ricciardo behind his teammate by 7 seconds? Bottas hasn't pitted. Giovinazzi has to be damaged, right? Because that Williams isn't terrible anymore. It's slightly, I've said it before, it's depressing you can tell when this is a thing. Because he just stood out as being horrifically slow compared to everyone else, relative to the pace that should be in that car. De Vries is 10th. Perez finally got album. It is a little ridiculous that Tsunoda has been that much faster than Alex over the course of this race. Bear in mind where they started. He's not in DRS though, as Ocon gets Tsunoda. There was a yellow flag, and Giovinazzi went down a place. Yep, that's right. Giovinazzi spin. Pit window entered. I mean, bear in mind this last soft can actually get there. Zhou Guan Yu just got Tsunoda. Wait, what? He's showing a soft now. And Jerry's on the soft now. But we're only 3 laps away from pitting these guys off their mediums. And they're still on 57, 60%. That's a little wild. There goes Russell finally. Lap 29, he's pitted onto fresh softs. Russell might be in a really good spot by the end of this race, because I do worry about Ocon and Zhou Guan Yu's tyres reaching the end. He's 11 seconds behind them. He's 11 seconds behind Alex as well. But he'll be going faster than Alex for the next 3 laps, I imagine. But once again, we'll pit Alex first just because he pitted first last time. We might as well put him on the optimal lap because we know they can do it from there. Alex fighting, Yuki fighting sides behind. Actually, see, is it better for Alex to stay on these another lap, get dragged along by Perez behind? I mean, to be fair, it is Spa, so it is a long lap. So you kind of, it's all well and good having DRS. But you want to make the most of the laps you do have available. 13 laps all out, 13 qualifying laps essentially. And Alex comes out behind Leclerc, just. Fighting Piastri on exit is mildly concerning, but he is a net 4 seconds behind Russell with basically the same time, well, better tyres actually. Effectively now on the same strategy as Russell and only 4 seconds behind him. And he's in a Ferrari. So the crucial thing here is to get Piastri, who I don't know is in the DRS. Kind of feel like I need to deploy him through Piastri here because he's going to get held up otherwise. Get him, Alex. Get him. Good boy. And got DRS. The perfect overtake from Alex there. Meanwhile, lovely. But this is perfect. Somehow he's behind at the detection point, which I think is that line there. Judged to perfection from Alexander Albon. Meanwhile, Yuki definitely behind De Vries and Norris as things stand. Still out ahead of Magnussen, though. No, while we're warming the tyres up, get that little bit of fuel back as well. I think Alex is going to be just... Oh, hang on. I forgot to stop deploying Alex. All right, deploy Yuki through De Vries as well. Alex is going to have Leclerc right in his sights for the end of this one, so we'll deploy Alex here. Behind the detection point is the most important thing. Not actually deploying at this point in time, by the way, which is intensely annoying. Charles, if you could just give up, that would be great. You should know when you've been beaten here, which is a mad thing to be saying about a Red Bull, who's also on a soft tyre. Ending up behind Charles Leclerc was actually really problematic now I think about it, because that is the fastest car on the grid, on the fastest tyre available. How is it? Oh, I didn't actually check afterwards. I checked Giovinazzi, but I didn't check Leclerc. Yes, he didn't actually replace anything, I don't think, following his crash. So his engine was at 41 to start this race, so he's not been up to maximum. Does our fastest lap irritatingly? Yuki, how are you still behind Nick De Vries? You had DRS. I mean, this is part of it, isn't it? You don't know how to overtake, do you, Yuki? Do it now? There we go. Good lad. Ah, Yuki's had a problem. That problem is called Oscar Piastri. So, once again, I am asking you to deploy. Alex is only 3 seconds behind Russell. Well, that's Piastri down. Just not even in DRS. That might be the best overtake of the day because of that. Just went, I'll have you. Just absolutely mugged him off. Norris next. See, Norris can be done with DRS though. I don't need to deploy him through Norris. There he goes. Problem solved there. Now Alex is dragging Leclerc along a little bit. Slash fighting Leclerc. Which is annoying because he's now lost time on Russell. It's weird to think that Charles Leclerc has cost Alexander Albon time. The Red Bull has slowed us up. Bizarrely, because Tsunoda is now with them. And Alex is still 1.7 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. Russell got through Sainz eventually as well. They finally caught up and got through. It's been Verstappen's race, who also... No, he once stopped onto mediums and stayed on them. But Tsunoda is now causing problems for Charles Leclerc, which is helping Alex finally drive away. Leclerc still has the fastest lap somehow. This is last lap for everyone. So, all out deploy then, I guess. Max is miles ahead, as you'd expect. I think Alex might be able to catch and maybe slip past Sainz towards the end of this lap, but that's as far as we're getting. Shogun Yu's played a blinder in third, and the Ferraris have got through as predicted. But no, I'm almost going to be annoyed if we get out Sainz here, because that would have been viable for the sponsor. Alex still being 7th is the exact reason why I didn't do the sponsor. Meanwhile, Tsunoda has gone from 16th, to 9th, and fighting force. Well, he's fighting for 8th here. Yeah, Alex is comfortably behind Sainz here. You can push to the line, and Leclerc's held off Yuki. 7th and 9th. Thank God we didn't do the sponsor. Ricciardo finished 17th. He still finished behind Bottas somehow. Oh, Daniel. But you can see the problems with the game, with how it kind of pans out at the back. Giovinazzi with a problem. Still, Haas must be the slowest car now. The 2 slowest cars and then the 2 next slowest cars with a broken Williams in between them. I wonder if something's up with Gasly. And I wonder if Aston Martin are now the 3rd slowest car. Because, I mean, I know Stroll had a problem. No, he qualified 3rd. They can't be the 3rd slowest car. Magnussen must be wounded and Stroll must be wounded from the race. I can check before it actually ends. We didn't break his engine by going off, but his engine did break over the course of the race. And Kevin Magnussen doesn't have a gearbox. So that explains that then. Happy 100th race, Yuki Tsunoda. Shogun Yu on the podium, along with Esteban Ocon. Oh God, Max has 7 out of 12 of the wins this season. Happy 5th title. Ocon and Shogun Yu. 2 new faces in general. I think we had Lando Norris on the podium before, so it's not the first time McLaren's been there. But it is certainly the first time those 2 drivers have been on there. Alex, status quo, Yuki, Lando, and Charles Leclerc all up 7 places. Oscar Piastri down 5 because he's terrible in races. 12 down for Lance Stroll. Did recover, basically ahead of the cars that are dirt slow. Sergio Perez up to 4th. It is now Red Bull, Ferrari, as it should be in the championship there. But it is still Yuki Tsunoda and Lando Norris ahead of both Mercedes. Then Kevin Magnussen, Alexander Albon rounds out the top 10. Shogun Yu, despite 15 points, stays 11th. Lance Stroll is a disappointment. And Merc is back. They're on the podium. Unsurprising. We did a 1.799. I didn't even register it at the time. That is unbelievable. I mean, if we don't win this from there, why are Alex's pit stops always consistently faster than Yuki's? Pit stops used to be tied to race engineer, but now they're not. So I don't know why that happens. I'm trying to work out which sponsor we failed. It was 2 drivers, top 14. Actually, 2 drivers in Q3 as well. We'll find out the results of the double points last race as well, as we finally get some car parts back in. If the underfloor is literally just broken again, I will laugh. Okay, it's the side pods. It might go next race. Okay, Alex's is gone. I've got 1 spare. Again, I built 2 more. So, AlphaTauri voted against Oh, it's been voted against. I say we were the deciding vote. It would have been 5-5 if we just voted for it. So I don't know how the tiebreak would have gone. But we have effectively denied it anyway. A point for Pole is kind of the one I would enjoy seeing. Hey, nice to see her get some growth. Now, underfloor and side pods are the ones being designed, but they will not be ready. We've just got to get through Zanvor. So next time out, just Britain in all its glory. Hopefully we have the same chaos we had last time without having the terrible result. But either way, board assessment after that as well. Let's not forget that. But I think we're in a much better time board assessment after that race as well. But I do reckon we're in a much better position than we were this time last year because of the financial strife we were in this time last year. We are going to have to take further car parts for certain mechanically for Yuki Tsunoda. Definitely going to need a new ARS for him by the end of the year. Might need a new ARS for Alexander Albon, but we'll no longer do full sweep on that. We'll just take what we need as and when we need it, if we need it. Cost cap is a little worrying, if I'm completely honest. We've got 40 million left in the cost cap. But bear in mind that's got to cover the second half of the season in its entirety. Yeah, design's not likely to be too going forward. But the one saving grace is we're going to have to be a little bit hesitant on research just because of the way the big switch happens between 2025 and 2026. So because we don't want to end up so far ahead of the field next year, because that can happen, we're going to be a little bit conservative in research, but I think we'll probably actually end up still doing more research than we have done in the past 2 years. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Until next time, thank you for watching. Ta-ra.